Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin, a song called T for One, and this is the final song of their Presence album. Yeah, man, here we are at the end of yet another Led Zeppelin album. A Led Zeppelin classic album, man. I've loved the whole album so far, man. And from what I've heard from a number of you, this song is right up my street, right up my alley. You think you know me that damn well, do you? All right, man. Hey, it's all good. And also, I know that this is the song that my friend Terry is saying that is gonna whoop me upside my head, just like Since I've Been Loving You had when I first discovered Led Zeppelin. So hey, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm trying not to get myself all hyped and shit, but you know, some of you you just get under my skin with this, man. So I'm ready for this shit. All right, let's get it on, man. T for One, Led Zeppelin. Let's get it. Slowed right down. It's got that same flavor, like Since I've Been Loving You.
How come 24 hours? Baby, sometimes seem to slip in a day. Oh, 24 hours. Baby, sometimes seem to slip in the day. One minute seems like a lifetime. Oh, baby, when I feel this way, sitting looking at the clock, time moves so slow. I've been watching for the hands to move until I just can't look no more. I got 24 hours. Baby, sometimes seem to slip into day. A minute seems like a lifetime.
damn. Yo, man. Yeah, I always have to bite it, don't I? When I get all of this hype thrown at me, man, you're gonna love this, man, you're gonna love this and shit. And I always try to kind of talk myself down and tone myself down and, not get caught up with the fanaticism that is some Led Zeppelin fans. But yo, man, my friend Terry was saying that this is gonna smack me upside the head, just like Since I've Been Loving You did. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. Yeah, people really, really read me good. The people who do really get me. And this song, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say it right now. This is one of Led Zeppelin's best. And I gotta say, it's among one of my favorites. Since I've Been Loving You, and then T for One is right here with it. That's where I'm at. I don't like to throw favorites around and all that, but I just know myself too well. And I know that you are not going to throw a better Led Zeppelin song at me than this. Since I've Been Loving You and T for One. On the record, those are my two favorite Led Zeppelin songs, man, definitely. And there's just nothing else coming behind it that's gonna match this. I know that already. Holy shit. This was really, really good. Every single thing that I could ask for from a Led Zeppelin song was in it. Definitely, of course, Jimmy Page's great guitaring. The reason the guy is my favorite guitarist is for the reasons that he was playing. That guitar was literally talking to me. The solo was incredible. The guy is just, he's just a wizard. He was born to play that guitar. That's all I can say. But a little, not as in your face, the drumming. John Bonham, he is the best drummer, not because he can sit there and do this crazy ass drum solo. It isn't about his drum solos. It's about the way he drums. He is another person, just like Jimmy Page. Literally, he can almost speak to you through his drumming. And just the way he's keeping pace. This song was made possible off of the shoulders of John Bonham's drumming, right? Fantastic. Of course, they're all great in their own respective rights. The collective whole of these four guys is fantastic. But definitely the two standout instruments was the guitar, but don't sleep on the drums. The drums made everything possible, and it just had the spice of so much more. I was just so noticing Bonham's drumming in this. You can't help but notice his drumming in anything that he does, but this, somehow there were just two things really, really talking to me in this. The guitaring, of course, and the drumming. Even though it was a little bit more on a supportive background, I just zoned right in on John Bonham's drumming. And I can tell who is drumming now. You don't have to tell me, well, listen to this, guess who's drumming. Don't have to do that anymore. I know him very, very well. Love this, man. The subject matter of the song, it's a serious message he's conveying. He's conveying a sense of loneliness, isolation, frustration, waiting to exhale, all of those things. Living a life of quiet desperation. And he was forced to leave his lady. And I was thinking about also kind of like the idea of Achilles' Last Stand, where there were challenges in that person's life. And I was thinking maybe it's the same person, kind of carrying over into this song. But man, fantastic. Among my favorite Led Zeppelins, and so far, this one and Since I've Been Loving You. They're literally the same song in a way, kind of fitting into a puzzle groove. They complement each other so well. They've got a very similar flavor, and man, I'm gonna shut up now because that's just I can just keep going on and on forever. All right, I'm just gonna say it. Cut to the chase. I'll say it. I'll swallow it. You were right. I do love it, and I love it as much as you said that I would. And yes, it did smack me upside the head. All right, I said it. So let's move on. God damn, T for one. Yes, sorry, pardon the swears, man. Even with all of this coppa nonsense going on, you know, a few swears help here and there, but I still try to check myself on my swearing. It's hard, man. I spent a lot of years in the Navy, and literally in the Navy, we just sit around inventing swear words. You know, swearing originated from the Navy. Look it up. So anyway, let's do a little background, man, on this song. Finish off Presence in a really good way. See what we can learn. T for one. Okay. There's a lot of information on it. Just a little bit of song info, but more so overall album info. So let's just focus on reading the song info, because in the previous reactions I've already read a whole bunch of album info. So let's just focus on song info, man. Oh, and by the way, I don't even know if I said this at the top of beginning this reaction. I was just so ready to get it going. This is what I call a back-to-back. The studio rendition and then a live rendition. And the live rendition is Page and Plant with, I believe, an orchestra backing them up in Japan in 96, I believe it to be. So we're going to do that right after I do my little bit of reading and just go right into it. So of course, yes, this reaction will probably hit an hour. You've come to know me by now, man. So let's do a little intro of T for one. Get a little background. Okay, T for one. T for one appears on the album Presence, released in 1976. Lead singer Robert Plant wrote the lyrics to this slow, reflective blues number about the loneliness he felt being constantly on the road when he was far away from his wife. Okay, that makes perfect sense. He found himself in a New York hotel drinking tea for one when he penned the words. One reason the band stayed out of England so often to tour and record was to avoid the taxes. Led Zeppelin would scrap a song if they thought it sounded too similar to something they had already recorded, but they made an exception for this one. According to Jimmy Page, T for one is similar in mood to the 1970s Zeppelin live favorite Since I've Been Loving You. Right. He explained in a 1977 Trouser Press interview, quote, "The chordal structure is similar, a minor blues. We just wanted to get a really laid-back blues feeling without blowing out, let me try that again. We just wanted to get a really laid-back blues feeling without blowing out on it at all. We did 2 takes in the end, one with a guitar solo and one without. I ended up sitting there thinking, I've got this guitar solo to do, because there have been blues guitar solos since Eric Clapton, on 5 live Yardbirds, and everyone's done a good one. I was really a bit frightened of it. I thought, what's to be done? I didn't want to blast out the solo like a locomotive or something, because it wasn't conducive to the vibe of the rest of the track. I was extremely aware that you had to do something different than just some B.B. King licks," unquote. So that's from Jimmy Page. So he was trying to think about how to navigate, knew he had to do something with the guitar in this track, something different, but something very complimentary. Hey man, you definitely did well with it. This song forms the last track on the band's on the band's 7th studio album, Presence. The cover art shows a family of 4 seated together at a table, apparently at a harborside restaurant. This entire album was recorded in just 18 days. Musicland Studios in Germany, with Plant in a wheelchair the whole time from injuries sustained in a car accident. A favorite of many Led Zeppelin diehards, this whole song never got played much at concerts. However, sometimes the introductory riff would be included as a lead-in to another song. It finally got its due when Zeppelin played it in full with an orchestra backing in their Japan concert tour in 1996. Sorry, my reading is so damn choppy, man. There's just no commas or nothing, no breaks, man. Just straight. Anyway, Wikipedia. All right. So that is the Wikipedia song fact info on T for One, man. And yeah, you know, this song coming about at a time when they had a lot of stress to deal with Plant recovering from his accident, performing this from a wheelchair, and so many different vices that were plaguing them back then, and yet they still managed to create such a fantastic song, man, such a fantastic masterpiece as this. It just gives you a good idea of how masterful they were at creating, you know, fantastic. So let's leave it there with that, man, and let's jump to the live rendition of this song, 1996, from Tokyo, Japan. Okay, Page and Plant in Tokyo, T for One. Let's get it. The spirit of his delivery.
How come 24 hours, baby, sometimes seem to slip in a day? Oh, 24 hours, baby, sometimes seem to slip in a day. But it seems like a lifetime. Oh, baby, I feel this way. How come 24 hours? Baby, sometimes it do. Slip in the day. I mean, it seems like a lifetime. Oh, baby. Baby, when I feel this way, I feel this way.
He's so in the zone, isn't he? You got the whole stage, bro.
To sing a song for you. I recall you used to say, but baby, this one's for we two. In the end, it's you anyway. How come 24 hours? Living the days.
Is there a better rock singer?
It seemed like a lifetime. Oh, baby, I feel the same. other man. But by my own choice, I left you, mama. And I can't get back again. Oh, come 24 hours.
I love that orchestra in the back, man. Good call. Excellent. Oh man. Fantastic. For sure. You're not gonna give me a better Led Zeppelin song than this. You are not. Absolutely not. Fantastic, man. What a great song. Holy cow. And, you read about the meaning behind it, the motivation for it to come about and all of that. It just deepens the attachment to it immediately. I immediately love the song for what it represents. His feelings, what he's sharing. He's going deep within. He's missing his wife. He's on the road. He's got a broken body. And all of these things creates this masterpiece of a song. Even Jimmy was going through his trials with it, He wanted to compliment the past, but he didn't want it just another run-of-the-mill kind of guitar solo. So that solo, he had to go within, and he had to come out with something that was complimentary, but different, And at the same time, the whole band collectively, they were challenged with, well, hey, this is coming from the C, what is it, the same C minor or whatever chord structure as Since I've Been Loving You, but it can't be the exact same song. And, when I looked at it, I said, oh my gosh, man, this is a 9-minute song. But I should have reminded myself that, hey, man, I've reacted to Led Zeppelin songs that went as long as, 15, even reaching up to about 25 minutes. So remember, 9 minutes is nothing, especially where it comes to a Led Zeppelin tune. So, I reminded myself of that halfway through the song. But yo, man, what can I say? All I can say is that I'm going on record as to saying that this is my favorite song, hand in hand with Since I've Been Loving You. To me, they're a pair. And they're different, but to me, they're a pair. And I have the same overwhelming smack upside the head feeling as I did when I first reacted to Since I've Been Loving You. It just took me right back to it. I don't know, if you're joining me and you haven't been with me as long as when I first did my very first Led Zeppelin reaction, here's the short of it. When I started my channel a few months before that reaction, actually it was about a month and a half, I was really, really, really deep into anti-war, social, political songs and getting the message from it. And being ex-military and all that, I connected to that stuff immediately. I think I went in too deep though, because there was some stuff coming up. I didn't realize I still had some healing to do from when I was in the military. And so too many anti-war and stuff like that was really kind of bringing things up. And so my friends were watching this and they're like, okay, this isn't just some sidelining hobby for you anymore, dude. You are here sitting like 8 hours in a day, not moving, doing reactions and editing and all of this sort of thing. You said you were only going to do like maybe 1 or 2 reactions a week, but here you are. So they said that because I'm so stubborn, they knew that they couldn't stop me from doing it, but perhaps they could change my focus, shift my focus. And so they're like, okay, you are going to react to this song from Led Zeppelin. I'm like, well, I'll get to Led Zeppelin eventually, you know, I'll do a couple of quads and I'll be done with Led Zeppelin, you know, because I'm familiar with their best. That's what I said to my friends. And they said, no, you are going to react to this song. And you're going to take your time with it, take as long as you want. I don't want it to be just a 15-minute thing. You are going to react to it. You're going to do the background. You're going to go through that process and just get right into it. This is not just one of their commercial hits that you're dealing with. There's a whole, and one of my friends said there's, look below the surface because it's a gigantic iceberg. You are just hitting the tip of Led Zeppelin. So get into this. Anyway, so long story short, that was Since I've Been Loving You. And man, when I did that reaction, it's like my brain exploded. And now I use the metaphor of being smacked upside the head and happening exactly the same way with this song again, man. So that is the effect that this song is having on me. And complementary to the exact same way I felt when I first did a reaction to Since I've Been Loving You. Yeah, to me, they're intertwined. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the Since I've Been Loving You reaction to this, because to me, they're like sister songs. One is not going to be separated from the other, not for me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach that. Anyway, man, hey, let me just cap this off. I know this is probably going to be an hour. I'm just going to scroll down and check some notes here before I bounce. Yeah, okay, so that concludes, this concludes Presence. Great album. I'm not going to read any of the whole critical reception and all of that sort of thing, because yeah, I get it. The critics were divided. Some liked the album, some didn't. In their opinion, a lot of Led Zeppelin fans didn't like this as much as others, or yeah, I've read all of that. That's fine. But this album, you know, one song can make an album, right? Even though it isn't a commercial hit in a sense, it doesn't fit within the parameters of being a commercial hit. It is a masterful song. This song I'm talking about. And as well, too, I mean, look at Presence. In my mind, right off the top, when you say Presence, I'm thinking of 4 great songs. I'm thinking of Achilles' Last Stand, For Your Life, Nobody's Fault But Mine, and this song, you know, T for One. So there's some 4 fantastic, monumental songs on this album. That's more than enough, you know. I mean, like I said, one great song can make an album, and there's 4 on here. The other songs are great songs. They're just not as great as this one, you know, but all the same, it's still Led Zeppelin, and it's still really, really good songs. And I've said it before, you can take Led Zeppelin's not so great songs. Someone can come along and use that and have a fantastic, successful recording career, you know. So I know that the bar for Led Zeppelin is really, really up here, and these 4 songs definitely have reached it for me, you know. So that's all I got to say about Presence. I really, really like this album, and I understand that some people might not like it as much as the others, but you can't tell me that you don't like anything about this album. Definitely not, man. Anyways, so that's all I'm going to say about this great album. And so on to the next one. So I'll start the next album, which is In Through the Outdoor. In Through the Outdoor. I'll get started on that. So I do one Led Zeppelin reaction a week. So look for it around next weekend. I'm trying to get a pattern where I'm entering into the weekend with Led Zeppelin. And it gives me a cue once the weekend hits. Oh, I got to do a Led Zeppelin reaction so I don't miss it. Sometimes I look up and I can't. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, so so that's how I stay on timing where my Led Zeppelin reactions are concerned. So look for the first song of In Through the Outdoor sometime next weekend, Friday, Saturday-ish. So In Through the Outdoor, and then Coda follows that. What I'm going to do with Led Zeppelin is I'll finish the studio recordings, studio albums, and then I'll complete my live albums. I still haven't completed The Song Remains the Same. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I think what I'll do is I'll just complete The Song Remains the Same after I finish the studios. And then I know that there are other live performances like Fillmore, How the West, there's the Ahmet Ertegun tribute, and of course the Page and Plant tour stuff. So there's still a lot of Led Zeppelin to do even after I finished the studio reaction. So quite a lot. Definitely enough stuff for another year, I'm sure. I've been at this for a year and a half, man. And I'm still, I'd say maybe I'm about 3/4 of the way through the Led Zeppelin catalog. It's been quite a ride, man. Rabbit hole, deep and winding. I'm lost in it. So, oh yeah, the other thing I gotta mention to you quickly is, I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube at the moment, whether or not this is gonna get a pass, but all the same, I'm gonna be going back to YouTube starting next week. So we're around the midway point of February. So I'll go back to YouTube starting next week, upload the Led Zeppelins first, and then try some of the others and go from there. And so I should be back. I figured out a way of reapproaching YouTube and keeping with the whole COPPA stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's my big announcement, so to speak. Anyway, man, I'm gonna bounce, but fantastic song. That's all I'm gonna say. And among my favorite Led Zeppelin songs, two, Hand in Hand, Since I've Been Loving You, and now T for One, my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. You're not going to give me a better Led Zeppelin song than this one. Definitely not. Anyways, man, you guys have yourselves a good day, and I'll see you in my next Led Zeppelin reaction. First song from In Through the Outdoor next week. Have a good one. Peace.